I stay, will you stay? If I go, will you go? If I pay, will you play? Do you know what I know?
How's it going, everybody? It is Saiyan Prince back again. In today's video, I wanted to showcase my game room. I finally got it done, guys. I have spent months building this up. It used to be a 12 by 20 shed slash storage area that I've fully converted into a game room. So that comes with all the lights and computers and arcades and entertainment systems and everything. So I'm going to cover everything in this video. I'm just going to go around the room and show everything. If there's something in particular that you're interested in, I'll leave timestamps down below so you can skip directly to it. I don't want to waste your time. And if you guys have any questions on any of this stuff, always feel free to leave a comment and I'll help you out as best I can. Like I said, this is a 12 by 20 shed that I did a conversion for, so I'll show you guys some pictures. Now, this was something that me and my brothers and a couple of buddies got together and did just when they had free time and when I could break away. And we did all of the insulation, all of the walls, all of the everything. I'd never done anything like this before. We routed the electricity out to the room. We built a vanity in the ceiling. I mean, everything was built with entertainment in mind right from the get-go. This was a portable building that I had brought in, and then that was it. We did the carpet, the walls, the everything, paint, all of it, texture. It was a really fun project, and I highly recommend if you guys are wanting to do something like maybe a game room, but you're not really wanting to do an addition onto your house. This is actually a really great way to do it, and I've had no issues. All right, well, let's get into it. First off, we got to show off the arcade and Mortal Kombat section. Now, it may be a little bit blurry here, but that's because I've got each of my posters framed. So they're framed. They look really good on this end. I've got Sub-Zero and Scorpion. And then, of course, I've got some classic stuff here on the wall. I am planning on doing some overhead lights in the ceiling here, like some push lights. So those are on the way. So those are going to be pretty cool to add here. So whenever you want some extra lighting, because I mostly just have the main light there in the middle. Then we've got a couple of figures. I've got Shao Kahn, Scorpion, and Sub-Zero. There we go, a little bit better there. Just a few things I've collected over the years. And then, of course, the custom Mortal Kombat Arcade 1-Up cabinet. If you guys are interested in this type of thing, I actually did a whole video on this, so I'm just going to briefly go over what this does. I've got a inline switch that I've set to do all of the LEDs. It's completely separate from the unit, so I can turn that on or off. It looks really nice. Super glad I did that. I'm going to turn it off for the video. Now, like I said, this is a custom build cabinet, so if you go to Arcade 1-Up and you get something like this, it's not going to have the template up here where I have the 3x3 layout. It's not going to have this artwork, these sticks, these caps, nothing like that. I've got some speakers and an amp that's been added, as well as a riser that merges with the artwork there. So see how it all kind of connects? Pretty cool. So, and I'll turn this up a little bit so you guys can hear it. Pretty cool. This has my custom Mortal Kombat image on it. So it actually has, oh man, I want to say like 2,800 games. Let's see. Yeah, from everything that you can imagine. Yeah, 2,878 games. And these games, they range from, turn it back down a little bit, everything from Super Mario, Alien, Assassins, Beyblade, Breath of Fire, Cars, Castlevania, you name it. You can scroll through here endlessly. And I've got a little picture that shows what the game is with a marquee up at the top, and then a rating system. But if you're only interested in something like the Mortal Kombat games, I do have a section that's just for those. I have made a collection on here that is simply Mortal Kombat. So I have 67 Mortal Kombat games. Check out how cool this is. Each one of them has a video that will play as you scroll over the game. So this is all of the Mortal Kombats, including the hack versions, including the spin-off versions with some have blood, some don't have blood. I mean, I've got them all. And as you can see, even the anime fan projects I've added on here. I mean, you name it. There's Super Ninja Bros. That one's pretty cool. You play as Sub-Zero and Mario, which is pretty awesome. You know, so I've added a ton of these games from every generation all the way up until, I guess, Dreamcast in the timeline. So all the Mortal Kombat 3s, all the Mortal Kombat 2s. If you played Mortal Kombat on a system, I've got it right here. All of the retro ones, at least. I've got all the retro ones. So this is a Raspberry Pi 5. No, my mistake. Raspberry Pi 4 that I put in here. And I did all of the images and everything all in Photoshop with the help of a few buddies online. And we just put this all together. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool. The way I have it set up is I can actually shut it off with a single button press. So I can just press this button and it shuts it right down. Simple as that. Super easy. I had to make it very easy for some of my buddies and my friends that come over that, you know, if it was just a standard computer, you had to bust out a keyboard or something like that to turn it on, they probably wouldn't go for it. So yeah, and then if I want to kill the power completely, I have a switch for that. And now it's completely dead. Just like that. Yep. Alright, moving on. I got the, again, all of my stuff is framed, so I'm sorry about the visuals here. But I've got the Mortal Kombat moves list, the poster, which is pretty sweet. Sorry about the reflection. But yeah, it's all of the Mortal Kombat moves list from Mortal Kombat 1 to Mortal Kombat 2 to Ultimate MK3. So now when my buddies are talking smack, oh, well, you know the moves, I don't even know the moves. You know, they're right there. So there you go. No more excuses. All right, moving on. So the next section I got here, and you may notice I actually have 3 different themes. I've got the Mortal Kombat section, which I still need to add more to, but then I've got the entertainment system / Dragon Ball Z section. So I've got my figures that I've collected and all of that, some posters, and then I've got my Pokemon section over there. So we'll do it one at a time. So first off, I got my modded Switch up on the wall. This is a OLED switch. It's fully modded. I'll go ahead and most likely leave a link to the video on that. It has tons of games on it. I've also got my Xbox One X on the wall. And then I've got some Dragon Ball Z stuff up here. I've got my Shinron and a figure that my buddy got for me. And if you hear any creaking, that's just because, like I said, I am in a shed. Even though I have carpet, even though it's carpet, it's nice soft carpet. It is still wood underlayment. So if you hear some popping or something, you know what that is. All right. Some of my figures that I've collected over the years. Now, some of these I've put together myself, and then others I've had since I was a kid. There in the back. Just kind of show you guys. And I'm always growing this, always growing the collection. It's never finished, right? So if you guys are collectors, which I imagine a bunch of you are, it's never finished. You never finish collecting. I've also got my, and I want to get this right, this is the LG OLED 65-inch C3 smart TV. This TV is the best TV I've ever had. It is awesome. The colors are unmatched. I've never really seen anything like it. Once you go OLED, you really can't go back. These are fantastic smart TVs. So I've also got a camera up here at the top. Now, I thought initially when I got this camera that it would be invasive, but to be honest, guys, I haven't noticed it. What I do notice is the super vibrant colors that it brings to the backlights of the TV. As you can see, it will match the colors. I'm not sure how well you can see it on the video, but it will match the colors of the TV's surrounding area and display the color on the back. So it's the LED lights. I think that's a Govee light. If I can find the link for it, I will paste that in the description for you guys if you're interested. Also, I wanted to go with a minimal cord setup, so if it's got a bunch of cords, I wanted to run them through something like this cable channel here, and that way it's completely hidden. I really don't want to see a bunch of cords when it comes to my setup, so I have all of the cables routed to run through that channel, and then they disappear behind the unit. And then I'll spare you guys and not stick the camera back there, because it gets a little crazy once you do that. So up here on the wall, I've got some, I think these are called pegboards. So you can find these on Amazon. Basically houses all my controllers. And also I've got my controller chargers, the two PS5, and then some Xbox controllers in case I want to play Xbox. My son really likes Xbox. I've also got a Nintendo Switch controller up there for when I want to play the OLED in docked mode. Couple more controllers. These are all synced. Every one of these controllers is actually synced to the Nintendo Switch 2 on the wall. So I mounted the Switch 2 this week, and you know, I may get comments about ventilation, but I have played Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild for many hours on that with it docked, and I've never heard the fans kick up, not even a little bit. It's actually got a lot of ventilation underneath it, so pretty cool. Anyways, back to the controllers. Some more pegboards here. I kind of wanted like a symmetry look, you know, so I got them here and here, and these are all Nintendo Switch 2 controllers. Got the Pro controller and the standard Pro controller and the one for the Switch 2. I've got my modded PlayStation Vita. I did a video on that. If I can link it, I will. And then I've got a modded 3DS. Never done a video on that. May do that one day. And then a like an alarm clock, so I can keep an eye on the time even when I'm gaming. Because you family guys, you probably know you got to keep an eye on the time when it comes to gaming. I got a bunch of games under here with the lights shining on them. It's a kind of a green light I got going right now. All that can be adjusted. Got all my Switch games on the left, the 3DS games, and then the original Game Boy Advance Pokemon games, which are pretty cool. So if I just... Now, these aren't the original boxes, but I do have the original games. And these are authentic. Trust me, I have verified them. 100% authentic. So, something good for my collection there. If I can get it back in there. Perfect. Yeah, so I got a pretty good Pokemon collection now. Some old PS3 and PS2 games. Gotta have them, you know, just in case. Got the PS5 set up here, which is definitely a go-to. And then I got a couple of rows of PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games. So there's a couple of rows there on that bottom one. I've got 2 rows, so that's starting to fill out, and then I'm filling out the PS5 section up top as well. So it's coming along. Last thing here, my brother's actually got me a crazy entertainment stereo system. So I don't like this big bulky bastard on my desk here, but the sound quality is so good. It is so good, guys, that I honestly ignore it now because it's so good. It is linked obviously directly to all my speakers that I have posted around the room. I don't want to do too fast with the camera here. Up there and up there as well. So it is full surround sound, and guys, let me tell you, wow, it is awesome. It is awesome. I can't tell you how many times I've been out here and it'll be like raining on my show, and I legitimately think that it's raining outside. It's that impactful. I've got a subwoofer behind my couch that I can show in a minute, but it is fantastic. I'm not a sound guy by any means, but my brothers are, and they hooked me up. All right, moving on. Of course, you know, we already went over the Switch 2, got it mounted, tried to hide the cords as best as possible, and when you're looking dead on, you don't, you know, it's all pretty hidden, not too bad. Got me a Shinron statue, which I love. I may actually buy another one of these for symmetry purposes to put on the other side. And then got my figures here, which is really the most expensive part about all of this is these damn cases. But yeah, check it out. Like I said, I'm still filling it out. Kind of been going down the statue route instead of the figures for this side. Got a little storage area. I've got some cords and some other stuff that I keep in there. Charging boxes, just try and keep it organized. I'm in the market for a magazine rack, so I do want to have like my old game guides and magazines and stuff like that. I've got a Dragon Ball Z poster up here. I had this in my old game room, and it was just too cool not to put it up somewhere. I may have to find more stuff to place here. I'm still trying to figure it all out, but we'll see. We'll see what I do with that. Okay, moving on. We've got some Pokemon stuff. Now this is sweet. I've got the Kanto map, which is like burned in, engraved, which is awesome. So kind of wanted like a Gen 1 theme here, which is more or less what my arcade is centered around. But check out this poster. A subscriber got me this. Check this out. I'm not sure how well it'll show up on the video, but as you move, it changes from the Gen 1 starters and their evolutions. Pretty damn cool. At least I think so. Alright, moving on. I've got my custom built Game Boys. So I've got green and yellow and blue and red. Now the games that I have in those boxes are authentic, but the boxes themselves are repros. I didn't have the original boxes. And then I've also got the custom Pokeballs. See how that one's like Charmander with its fire, and Squirtle. I just love that kind of stuff. I've still got to get one for Bulbasaur, so I'm working out a deal with the guy to get one for him. But yeah, those are awesome. My wife got me those. We are both big nerds when it comes to this kind of stuff, and she's super supportive. We got some classic red posters and some 3D printed giant Game Boy Color games, Game Boy games. I got a poster of blue. Pretty cool. And then getting to the arcade. Now this is a fully custom built arcade with the artwork we had custom done. It's the fire starters on the other side. And my theme here was like red versus blue. Check it out. And essentially with this started off as a like a joke between me and some buddies. And like if I could do a Pokemon arcade, and then it just kind of came about. So this is actually a bar top arcade, this whole section, and then this is just a stand that it goes on. It just all blends well. I matched all the color scheme and everything like that. This is a fantastic little machine. It plays all of the original games. So let me see here if I can get it where the light's not shining back there. So Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, the hacks, color, the color hacks, N64, DS, got some options, and then back to Game Boy. And this machine is not like an all-in-one. This just plays Pokemon. So any one of these can be launched. And let's see here. We got some hacks here. These are cool. So crystal clear, gold reforged, and I did all the box art and everything. I put it all together in Photoshop. So that's how I did that. So I'll launch one so you guys can kind of see. So I just hit the A button. So this is the Nintendo layout, so it'll be like A, B, X, and Y. Then you have your arcade stick here, and then your L and R button. And I'm sorry about the quality here with the light behind me. It just is not picking it up too well. This also has the one button activation, so one button you turn on the machine. And I've got it fully blown up to full screen. It's got the volume on the back because I didn't want to place like a volume rocker up here. I didn't want to have anything showing like that. Like with the Mortal Kombat one, that would be like one of my nitpicks that I don't like about it. So yeah, and it plays perfectly fine. So I have a video about this as well. If you guys are interested, I'll leave a tag for it. This is great because this actually supports 2-player co-op. So you can have a player on one side, a player on the other, because it's 2-player. You can battle each other, you can trade each other, which is awesome. And I haven't seen that anywhere else. So that's pretty cool. You can actually trade your Pokemon. If you have the emulators on your phone, you can wirelessly drop your save file onto this. It is wireless compatible. It's a badass little machine, guys. This is a cool machine. I spent a lot of time building this and working on it. It plays DS with the 2 screens. The right side would be the touch screen, which is awesome. The left side is like your main controls. Like I did a whole video on it in the early days of it. So if you guys are interested in that, just check that out. I'm gonna keep it rolling here. Oh, one last thing. It does have some storage space here and like a pull out drawer that you can, you know, put some stuff in. I've got the Pokemon down there, and then a little Pokemon rug that my stool sits on here. So I don't know, just to kind of complete it. This is the little things, you know. All right, moving on to like the computer section. Okay, I don't exactly remember which monitors these exactly are, but if I can find them, I will post them. This OLED on the bottom is a beast. So this OLED monitor, it's a curved monitor. I think it's 34 inches, and it's a monster. This thing is awesome. I love the color vibrancy. I'm not sure how well it's coming through here, but this thing is a beast. And a little peek at my game library that I've currently got on here. Pretty cool. I've got my Bluetooth speaker there that just turns on automatically when I turn on the unit. So it's pretty awesome. Got the, I think this is the Black Widow V3 Pro keyboard, and it's asleep right now, but it's all wireless. So again, guys, with the wireless, I wanted to have no cords visible. The only cord that I have visible at the moment is for my Pokemon Arcade and the main power. And I'm working on getting rid of those too. So yeah, got the 2 screens, pretty awesome. I will leave the specs for my computer that I built. It's been a couple of months now. So I know it's running the mostly NZXT stuff. You know, everybody's got a preference. I actually don't. This was my first PC build, but the NZXT has been great for me. I built all of this. I put all this together using PC Part Picker. It's got 32 gigs of RAM, DDR5, as well as an all-in-one cooler. It uses the AMD 7900 XT for the graphics. I've got 9 fans in it, all customizable. It shows that it's like purple on the video. It's like bluish white right now is what I have it set to, but for some reason the video kind of captures it that way. So yeah, that's my PC. It's a beast. It plays everything that I throw at it. No problem. I've even done a little bit of video editing as well. I also had to get the big and tall and comfy office chair. I am no longer a gaming chair kind of guy. I am 6'3" and pretty heavy. I weigh, 250 some odd pounds, give or take. Lots of time in the gym. And yeah, so this chair is perfect for me. It's a perfect chair. So I highly recommend this. If I can find a link for it, I will post it. Moving on, we got to check out the AC unit. This is the best thing about the whole room. This is a bad dude. It's a 1,000 ton mini split unit. So no, not a 1,000, a 1 ton, my mistake. 1 ton mini split unit, and it does heating and cooling, and it is awesome. This thing is a beast. It's a beast. It keeps this whole room exactly the temperature I want it at all times. And I went ahead and added a Vegeta vinyl sticker to it for the temperature, which is, I thought was pretty cool. Y'all know me, I gotta be a little bit extra with all that kind of stuff. I've got some Amiibo figures here on my fridge that my son has been using a lot lately with the Switch 2. Some Amiibo cards there, in case he doesn't want to use the figures. I got an assortment of all kinds of things in the fridge. And then some utility stuff like the power box, the electrical panel, the trash can, you know, all that good stuff. Then I've got my lights that I found on, I guess this was Etsy. And if I can remember exactly where I got these, I'll post the link. So those are pretty cool. You know, I've got 2 remotes for the whole unit, and then they control all of the lights. And I've got my cloud system. This is like a vanity that my brother actually came up with the idea for. It's like the sun in the middle and then the clouds, and then we routed all of the lights through. So that way it just gives some ambient light when we cut off all the main lights in the room, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. And then I guess getting around to the last thing is the couch. Not too much to say about this other than the fact that it's super comfy. It is a mechanical reclining couch, so it does all the things, just like that. You guys have seen it before. Y'all know what the deal is. Yeah. And then it's got all the cup holders, all the cool stuff, the wireless charging for your phone if you want. If you want to play your ROG Ally and have it plugged in, or your Steam Deck, have it plugged in. It's good for that. Pretty cool. All the headrests are adjustable. They lift up, and then you got some storage space and all of that. Pretty cool stuff. Nothing too crazy about the couch, but I think I got this one on Amazon if you guys are interested. So yeah, let me cut off the lights here, and I will show you guys what it looks like. Let's see here. Yeah. And then I've got the arcade turned off now, but you guys get the idea. All right. So yeah, guys, that's the game room. Sorry about the long video. Like I said, I'll leave timestamps down below. And if you guys want to see more of this kind of stuff, just leave a comment, leave a like, all that fun stuff. And I guess I'll see you guys on the next one. Okay, later.